Welcome to first episode of In the Red Zone with Berto and Owen, brought to you by no one yet. We're working on that. We're gonna run through divisions, players, NFL draft analysis, basically everything you need if you're like that part-time fan, but you're like, shit, I want to be a full-time fan. This is for you. We'll give you the takes, give you everything you need, and hopefully win you some money. I mean, if you're betting, we're here for you. We're here for everyone, broad audience. So,
Okay, then let's just move in right into our first topic for today. The biggest winner and biggest loser for the draft, NFL draft. For me, 100% the A-plus team with the draft was the Ravens. They have to be thrilled about Patrick Queen from LSU that fell to them in the 28th pick. This is one of the better picks in the draft, in my opinion. I think they really helped the need at linebacker for the Ravens, and now they're gonna have their defense is gonna be scary good with the addition of Calais Campbell for the future in the D line.
I mean, if you
for
think
day
about
two,
that,
the Ravens added Ohio State running back J.K. Dobbins. He rushed for 2,003 yards and 21 TDs with 247 yards and two TDs receiving. Like, J.K. Dobbins is a star player for that team. It's going to really improve the offense. Do you have anything else to add about the Ravens?
Well, yeah, I mean, I was going to say, in that game against the Titans, they lost in the playoffs, and the story was Derrick Henry. They just couldn't stop Derrick Henry, which it was hard to stop Derrick Henry.
100%.
But, I mean, getting Patrick Queen, I mean, maybe it'll take a little bit to develop him, but he's a first-round talent. He's a great player. He'll be able to stop the run, and them drafting the fact that they drafted what they need, which is something a lot of teams don't do, which we'll talk about later with the Packers. The Ravens drafted what they need. They needed to stop the run, and they would have advanced in the playoffs. They drafted a player to stop the run. And then to get J.K. Dobbins to pair up with Mark Ingram, who, Mark Ingram won the Heisman when he was in college, but he's kind of old now. He's getting up there. He played a little bit with the Saints. Now he's on the Ravens. I mean, they need another young guy an electric guy like J.K. Dobbins, so that they can – you pair him with Lamar Jackson, that's a rushing attack. You got Hollywood Brown, who I think will break out this year. I mean, the Ravens, they killed that draft. They did it perfect.
Yeah, each and every year, they come out with one of the best drafts I've ever seen each year, and they did it again this year, and they are 100% the winners of the 2020 NFL draft.
They're looking scary. I mean, so another winner, I thought, team that did really well. We'll bring it over to the NFC. You got the Cowboys. Now, every year, everyone's like, oh, yeah, Cowboys, they got all this talent on paper, right? And then every year, they kind of, aren't good. They were 8-8 this year with Zeke, Amari Cooper, Dak, the whole young linebacker core. Didn't even win the division. They lost to the Eagles, who don't even have wide receivers, but whatever. So the Cowboys won this draft. They get CeeDee Lamb, right? I was shocked that those wide receivers fell the way they did. Cowboys benefited from that.
Them at 17, crazy to me.
I know. So CeeDee Lamb, he's awesome. One of the top. I think you could have made the case he's the best wide receiver in the class. We'll find out. Then in the second round, they got Trayvon Diggs to address their defense, which kind of shit the bed last year. Their offense, they had their problems, but if you can't get stops on defense, you're screwed. So they drafted Trayvon Diggs. That'll help them in the secondary. They also addressed the offensive line. In previous years, the Cowboys were like, oh, yeah, they have that great offensive line. It kind of last year, it wasn't as good. It was part of the reason they were 8-8. They got a center, I can't pronounce that. Tyler Biadasz. He's from Wisconsin in the fourth round. I think that's a great value. It's a great pick. And I think they're going to be way improved from last year. They just got to get their linebackers in check. And I think they'll win that division. They'll be competitive with the Eagles, but, I mean, they're much improved. And you got to like what they did.
The Eagles could win and the Cowboys could win.
Yeah, I mean, it's a toss-up at this point. We'll get there with the divisional overview. And then now we must transition into the loser, who I think it stands out to me. It's the Packers. I mean, just the decision making. They didn't fill their needs. The highlight of their season, not the highlight, the low point of the season, or the defining moment of the season, is getting ran on by the Niners over and over again in the NFC Championship. And it happened in the regular season too, and they still couldn't stop it. And they have an opportunity in the first and second round to get linebackers like Patrick Queen or defensive players that can stop the run, and instead they take a quarterback to put under Aaron Rodgers, like Jordan Love, okay, like maybe like you like Jordan Love. They say he's the next Patrick Mahomes. That's what the Packers said. But I just don't think Aaron Rodgers is the type of leader or quarterback that's going to say, you drafted a first-round quarterback. Why? I'm still here. I feel like Aaron Rodgers is pissed off. It's going to cause tensions. We saw what happened last year when Aaron Rodgers had problems with the front office. Mike Mularkey got fired, and they have a new head coach. I don't like it. I think it's bad for the chemistry. What do you think?
I disagree completely. I think Jordan Love is a quarterback. He basically won the lottery to me. Let's go to the Green.
Yeah, I'm happy for Jordan Love. Nothing against him, but not for the Packers. Like that's not the move the Packers needed.
I think the Packers are just looking for the future. I think they're one of the teams that like they can see the future, and getting a guy like Jordan Love, they're gonna have three Hall of Fame quarterbacks they could potentially have back to back with drafting Jordan Love. I think the potential.
Well, you can't say Jordan Love's already going to be a Hall of Fame quarterback.
No, I think
haven't even seen him play a snap of preseason.
He's 4 years ahead of him to become that starting quarterback for the Green Bay Packers. I think that his potential is he's such a high ceiling. He could even have a higher ceiling than Tua and Joe Burrow, in my opinion. He could be the next big thing in Green Bay. I do think that the Packers did neglect needs that they had to address. They are in a win-now state, and they didn't get a single wide receiver, which doesn't make any sense to me.
Aaron Rodgers, once again, pissed off. Aaron Rodgers is mad. If I'm Aaron Rodgers, I'm mad.
I can see that, but I feel like Aaron Rodgers is going to go in a different direction because you can see what happened with Brett Favre and how he handled all the Aaron Rodgers selection back in, 2005?
Yeah, but he's a different guy. Aaron Rodgers isn't like that, you know?
Wait, what did you say?
Aaron Rodgers isn't like that. Brett Favre, you see him in all those TV ads. He's a man of the people. Aaron Rodgers, yeah, he does the State Farm ads, but in those ads, he's kind of a dick to the State Farm agent, or not to the State Farm agent, to his agent. He's like, oh, screw you, I'm a State Farm. This is my favorite agent. Aaron Rodgers, not a nice guy. He is not going to appreciate that. Oh yeah, they're building for the future. The Packers just were in the NFC Championship. They shouldn't be drafting a quarterback for the future when they are in the future right now in the NFC Championship, capable of getting to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I think that they kind of messed up with the rest of the draft. I understand why they drafted Jordan Love. I don't like the pick, but I see where they're coming from. I still think Jordan Love is a immensely good player. I actually really like him. I studied all the quarterbacks in this year's draft and watched hours of film on each quarterback, and Jordan Love is the fourth on my board. I don't like the pick, but it's not my favorite either.
All right. Well, not all right. So Packers aren't just the losers because of that Jordan Love pick. This pick I have more of a problem with is the the A.J. Dillon pick. They have Aaron Jones. He had a great season. Backup Jamal Williams, great season as a pass catcher. And they draft A.J. Dillon out of Boston College who, okay, if you're going to take a running back at the end of the second round, A.J. Dillon's the guy, but you don't have to. There's other options there. You can get Logan Wilson, the linebacker, is still there. You could even get an edge rusher, which you need, Julian Okwara out of Notre Dame. They missed on all these guys to get another running back who, okay, he had a decent season at Boston College, but he's just not the guy that you want to pick there.
Aaron Jones is 25 years old.
Yeah, he's a young guy.
Yeah, he is a great potential ahead of him, and to draft another running back means that you don't believe in him. And I
know this whole draft, it messes with me. I mean, I'm do what you want to do, Packers, but you're not going to win a Super Bowl drafting positions you already have Pro Bowl talent at in the first and second round of the draft.
Exactly.
Anyway.
And the rest of the draft, they had such a deep wide receiver class, and
they didn't grab a single one. That's the standout thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess they believe in Devontae Adams, which, Devontae Adams is great, but you saw last year they had guys like Alan Lazard or whatever. Lazard, that guy. They had that guy coming out catching passes. I mean, whatever. Anyway, we'll move on to the schedule being released yesterday. They made a whole big thing about it because there's no sports right now, so they're like, oh, look at the NFL schedule. So I have three. This is way too early because we don't know anything about the teams. But the top three games to look forward to. I'll lead off. At number 3 of the top 3 games to look forward to, I've got Chiefs at Saints, Week 15. You got Mahomes, you got Breeze in the Superdome late in the season, playoff implications. You know it's going to be a very intense atmosphere. The Saints fans always bring it. I remember one game they had this guy blowing a whistle the whole game. It was so annoying. They'll have some shit like that. It's a great AFC versus NFC heavyweight battle, and I can't wait for that game. I don't know.
Competitive game too. Like it's
Competitive game. Yeah. Give
crazy.
me the over. Give me the over.
Yeah. 100%.
Number 2, Chiefs at Bills, Week 6. Now, I'm a big Bills guy. I like the Bills. I think they've got a great future ahead of them. And this is a game where we're going to see how close they actually are from being contenders. They're playing against the Chiefs at home. So it's different. If they're playing the Chiefs on the road, they're like odds are they're going to lose by like 2 or 3 touchdowns, whatever. It's the Chiefs. But at home, you got your Bills Mafia, crazy motherfuckers doing what they do. Chiefs, I mean, cold weather. Chiefs are used to the cold weather, but when you're traveling and then you get off the bus, it's freezing in Buffalo. You know, you're like, oh, it's Week 6, it's kind of mid-season. I don't want to be here. You know, that's what they're going to be like. So Bills are going to come out. I think it's like Bills got a great defense, good challenge for Mahomes. Should be a great game. And at number 1, you got Seahawks at 49ers, Week 17. This was arguably the game of the year last season. I mean, it decided the division winner. Exactly. It was decided who would get the 1 seed in the NFC. It had implications for the Packers, implications for the Saints. Everyone was watching this game. And I expect similar things to be happening for this game next season. I mean, the NFC West is going to be tight. You know that. Seahawks-Niners, great rivalry. And this game is in Levi Stadium. They're going to come out. They're not Niner faithful are going to come out. And that'll be a good one. Can't miss that.
I think with that game, too, it's going to ultimately decide again this year who's going to win the NFC West. Because, like, 49ers and Seahawks are 2, in my opinion, playoff teams, and who gets a first-round bye and who gets in the wild card position in that division.
Yep, it's going to be a big game.
Okay, so with my top 3 teams games for this 2020 season, first I have the Minnesota Vikings at the New Orleans Saints, Week 16. It's a Christmas game. These 2 teams have started to become competitors in the past years in the playoffs. And there's some bad blood between these 2 teams. I think this game –
they've got a good rivalry right there.
Yeah, great game to watch.
Miracle.
Yeah, the Minnesota Miracle or Minneapolis Miracle was a crazy. I remember watching that and just freaking out that the Vikings actually won that game.
That was a great game.
I think that Kirk Cousins could definitely improve this year. So, like, I think that with Drew Brees and Kirk Cousins battling it out, I think it's going to be a great game. With my second best pick for the games, Tampa Bay Buccaneers at the New Orleans Saints, Week 1. It's basically the first time we see Tom Brady in a new uniform.
I'm excited for that.
Facing off pretty much another GOAT in Drew Brees. Week 1 matchup. This couldn't get any better to, like, improve – like the NFL's views, like everyone wants to see this game. There's going to be 2 GOATs battling it out.
And if you think about it, you're going to get the Brady versus Brees twice this year and twice next year in that division. That's going to be great. And Matt Ryan, Matt Ryan's great too. You can't.
Yeah,
the NFC South like Matt Ryan. It's going to be great to watch. A lot of great games.
For our number 1, I think it's going to be the Kansas City Chiefs at the Baltimore Ravens, Week 3. This game is a preview of the playoffs, 100%. Both these teams are playoff teams this next season. It's going to be great to see who has momentum going into the AFC. And the Chiefs, to predict who's going to win this game, I don't really know. I think it's going to be like the 2018, the Chiefs versus the Rams.
It's a great game.
Yeah, great game, high-scoring game. This one might be high-scoring because of the Ravens' defense. But I think this game, like Patrick Mahomes, is definitely going to do his magic and torch that defense up, even just to score points.
Yeah. The problem I have with this game is why put this game Week 3? You know, give us this game Week 12, Week 14. It's a little later. You know, it's a little tight. You know, Week 3, a lot of stuff could happen. Like, you know, one of these teams will probably start 1-2. One will start like 3-0 or something, and then, you know, whatever. But if you do this game at the end of the season, both these teams are going to have 10 wins. They're going to have 11 wins. It's going to be like, wow, this game matters. You know, like it'll still matter. But if it's later, prime time, you put it Sunday night, Week 13, everyone's watching that.
Yeah.
So now we'll move on to the Patriots and Jarrett Stidham. I mean, we know no more Tom Brady. Belichick's there on his own. No Gronk. He's been retired. He went to play for the Buccaneers. Edelman's stuck there. it's kind of a weird scene in New England. You know, they've been dominant for so many years, and you don't know what's going to happen this year with Jarrett Stidham. Personally, I like Jarrett Stidham. I liked him at Auburn. I liked him as a late sleeper in the draft, but I just don't think New England is the right fit. I mean, if Brady was still there and he was still playing under Brady, that's a different thing. But Brady's gone. It's in his second year. He only played like he only got a few throws in last year. He got such high expectations in New England. And Belichick's going to want him to win because Belichick's used to winning. And if you see Stidham loses a few games early on in the season, he's going to get benched for Brian Hoyer, and he'll just become another backup who turned into a starter, and then he shit the bed, and then he's gone forever, which I don't want that to happen for Jarrett Stidham. If you put him on a different team, if you put Jarrett Stidham, if the Packers had drafted Jarrett Stidham in the 7th round last year, let him learn under Aaron Rodgers because Aaron Rodgers isn't going to feel threatened by a 7th-round quarterback like he is with a 1st-round quarterback. Aaron Rodgers can be like, okay, I like this guy. He's a good rookie. You let him learn under like someone like Aaron Rodgers for 3-4 years. Then you put him in. I mean, not everyone can be Mahomes and turn into an insane starter after 1 year of backing up Alex Smith, you know? That's why I don't think it's a good fit right now for New England. And I don't see him playing all 16 games.
I also agree with you. I think the supporting cast in New England is like really bad for me. Like Julian Edelman, a wide receiver, like that's a slot receiver. You can't throw to him every single play. Even though I see him kind of shitting the bed a little bit, I still think Belichick is going to find him a way to win. And because Belichick is this brainiac, is arguably one of the best coaches. He's just going to find a way for him to succeed in that.
Yeah.
So we could see Stidham as maybe a couple more years as the Patriots quarterback, but like he's really not set up to succeed there. So
yeah, I don't know. It's going to be interesting to watch New England. I mean, because you could say some people are like, oh, they're going to be awful. They're going to be awful. But like, hold on, everybody relax. Belichick's still the coach. They're going to win games. They're going to be competitive. They still have that great defense. So we'll see how they match up. I mean, they're going to be playing against a lot of
players in the offseason too. Kyle Van Noy.
Yeah, Kyle Van Noy's a big one. He's good. I don't know, but I mean, what they're doing in New England, I think they're disguising a rebuild.
100%.
Yeah, like if they get Trevor, they're not going to get Trevor Lawrence because the Jaguars are going to get Trevor Lawrence. But they could get someone sneaky. Like I don't really see them drafting Justin Fields, but they could draft someone else from that draft class. Because it's going to be a better quarterback draft class next year than it was this year.
Exactly.
For sure.
100%. The top guys in next year's draft could have all went in the first round, like the top 15 picks.
All right, we'll move on real quickly. We'll go through the most competitive divisions for 2020. I've got the NFC West. You got the Rams. They're 1 year removed from being in the Super Bowl. Seahawks made the playoffs like 7 or 8 out of the last 8 years, something crazy like that. Niners turned their franchise around. They were just in the Super Bowl, were 10 minutes away from winning it, and then they blew it. They're all capable of winning that division. And then you throw in the Cardinals, I like Kyler Murray. I know you don't, but I like Kyler Murray. They got DeAndre Hopkins. I like Cliff Kingsbury. I know he knows what he's doing. They can surprise some people and possibly push for a wild card. Like, this is one of those divisions where it's not entirely impossible for all 4 of them to make the playoffs. Say the Niners win it, Seahawks get a wild card, Rams get a wild card. Oh, wait. It's not possible. Fuck, never mind. I wish all of them could make the playoffs because they're all going to be great. But I don't know. The Cardinals are
going to be super competitive. Even though I don't like Kyler Murray, I think that team's still good. I do like Cliff Kingsbury a lot.
They got Isaiah Simmons. They stole him in the draft. He's going to be key for that defense.
Oh, yeah. He fell to number 7.
Yeah.
My most competitive division is the AFC West. Obviously, you got the Chiefs as the favorites. But you also got the Chargers. Now, they're 1 year removed from being a playoff team. And they just got their franchise quarterback, even though I don't really like that quarterback, and Justin Herbert. I don't think he's like that guy. But you also got the Broncos. Like, the Broncos offense is going to be crazy next year. We also got, like, the Raiders. Now, the Raiders are just a weird team all in general. The Raiders are a sneaky playoff team, in my opinion. They could totally win it or be a wild card team in the AFC West. But that whole division is just like uncertainty, and all those teams could make like wild card spots, in my opinion.
I Like, I mean, you can't be surprised if the Chiefs. Like, I know this is crazy to say, but if the Chiefs have some regression, Broncos are like the new Chiefs. Broncos catch fire. There you go. Broncos win the division by like a game or something. You could
Yeah,
have some. You could have a scenario like that. All right, so I'll just honorable mention for the competitive divisions is the NFC South because that division is always tight. I mean, and now it's just even better. You got Brady on the Buccaneers. You know, that's a whole. It's the Tampa Bay Patriots, I would say. And then the Falcons always seem to steal some divisional games, and I think they'll be better this year. I feel like last year was kind of a wake-up call for Dan Quinn because he was like, holy shit, we're kind of spiraling right now. We need to just focus on our defense, get it up, like upgrade our defense, and we can be competitive. I think they'll be competitive. And then you got the Panthers who are rebuilding. But I like Teddy Bridgewater. They might steal a win from some NFC opponents, much like the Falcons did last year when they weren't that great. The Falcons beat the Saints and they beat the Niners, two of the top NFC teams. So I don't know.
I like Matt Rule for the Panthers. I think what he did in Baylor and Temple, pretty much bringing those teams around to like good college football teams. I think you could definitely do work with the Panthers. I think their defense in the next couple of years could be really good, like drafting all defensive players in this past draft. I don't really believe in Teddy Bridgewater could do it. I think they're obviously going to have to go for a quarterback, maybe next year's or maybe the 2022 draft. I think Teddy Bridgewater is a good guy.
I think he just deserves a chance. He just deserves a chance, you know, because no one's seen him really out there since he got that ACL when he was with the Vikings. He played a few snaps for the Saints, I know, but I just want to see him, you know, because it's been a while. Like, many people forget he was good for the Vikings. He was leading the Vikings to winning seasons.
Sure.
He did that one winning season, and then he got injured, where there was all this hype around him, and then he got injured, and he kind of fell off. I just want to see what he's up to. Now we're going to talk about the least competitive divisions real quick, and then we're going to get to my favorite segment. But so my least competitive division is the AFC South. I think it's obvious the Texans are going to win. Some people like the Titans, but I think there's just regression is coming. There's no way that Derrick Henry can just score that many touchdowns. Like, I know he's a great athlete.
How to stop him.
They're going to learn how to stop him.
That's what's going to happen.
That's what's going to happen. I think Phillip Rivers should have retired last year. He's going to have a losing season with the Colts this year, and he'll retire, and that'll be the end of that. And the Jaguars will have the worst record in the league. That division's a joke. Texans have a gift in front of them. Even without DeAndre Hopkins, they'll be fine with Deshaun Watson.
Exactly. Next least competitive division is the NFC East. Not much has changed from last year. Like you both see the Cowboys and Eagles trying to fight for the division, like for the division leader. I think that the Eagles could win, in my personal opinion, because the Cowboys have that new offense, like I said in the beginning. But that division kind of just sucks. Giants, Redskins, like, come on. They're going to be picking next year's draft and top 5 picks. They're going to have maybe the 2 worst records in the league. I think that they're both in rebuilding mode.
Mm-hmm. They're still a few years away. I mean, I wouldn't say they're going to have the worst records in the league. Like, I like Daniel Jones. Dwayne Haskins showed some potential, but they're definitely not going to be competitive in the division. They'll be picking in the top 10 for the next couple of years, and then we'll talk about them because they're still rebuilding. You're right. All right, so now we're on to the degenerate look ahead. These are the underdogs. They're going to make you money this season. I mentioned the Raiders before. This is my team. I will be betting on as underdogs to steal a few games, make me some money. The whole dark cloud of Antonio Brown's failures that was kind of like fucking up the season last year, it's gone. It's all gone. I like the quarterback room they have. They've got Carr and they've got Mariota. I was a big fan of Mariota in Tennessee, and no, it didn't work out. But I think he still has the potential to be what he was in college, which is what the Titans expected him to do. And he did lead them to a playoffs. It was his second or third year in the league or something. He led them to the playoffs. So he's still got it. They drafted Henry Ruggs. That's a great pick. They needed a wide receiver to replace the Amari Cooper void. And I think you pair that with Josh Jacobs, who had a great rookie season. Their offense is going to be good. And I think they can win some games in the AFC West and make me some money.
Yeah, I really do like Derek Carr, but like I feel like he doesn't throw it up deep at all.
Well, now he's got Ruggs.
So yeah, but like you could say that he doesn't really throw it up though, but like maybe with Ruggs you start doing that. Maybe John Gruden pushes him more to do that. I think Josh Jacobs should have been the Rookie of the Year last year. I love Josh Jacobs. I think he's an insane player. The Raiders are 100% a team to bet on if they're underdogs and to win so much money because they could beat out the superior teams in the league for sure. With my team, that's a big underdog. I feel like is the Steelers. Now, a lot of people are saying that Big Ben coming back from an injury can't really do it. I completely disagree. I think with that defense and that kind of division, the schedule, they're definitely going to win some big games that they're not going to be. They're going to be underdogs for. I think that they're like the money lines are going to be really insane because they could totally win big games. I haven't seen them possibly winning a game against the Ravens, and I know they're going to be underdogs for during that game.
Really?
I think the defense.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, I think the defense with Minka Fitzpatrick and T.J. Watt is insane. I really like their defense.
They were solid on defense last year. It was just the offense which was the problem. And, I mean, you got Big Ben coming back. Juju's obviously a star. He couldn't do much with Duck Hodges and Mason Rudolph at quarterback. But
I think this year the Steelers take the next step, being the playoff team, in my opinion. I think the Steelers are going to have it this year. Maybe go wild card spot.
That's cool. All right. So that does it for our NFL news. In other news, so right now the only sport really, well, ESPN's been showing them at like 5 a.m, but Korean baseball. I mean, you might have seen some of the teams. I myself am a KT Wiz fan. Got a win last night. I bet on them. That was a win. I also bet on Samsung. I don't know the Samsung team, whatever. That was a win. I'm 3-1 on my bets. I'll keep you updated on my status, but I might turn into like one of those sharp Korean baseball bettors. It's like, oh, this guy's betting on Samsung, so you better tail him. Like that's going to be me. Well, I'll keep you updated though. Time will tell.
In other news, the NBA is hosting a all players call for every single player that's in the NBA to join to see what's coming up and what the future holds for their season because of what's going on in the world right now. I think
that's a good call. I wish I could just sit on that call and just listen.
Yeah, sit on that call, take notes, just like see what I just want to see like a random guy that's on the bench talk and like ask a question that like no one knows about.
I don't know how the all player call works. Is it just everyone in the NBA is on it? That's what all players mean. But that's like you got some like bench warmers that like who the fuck cares about what they're saying. LeBron will be like talking, someone will interrupt him, they'll be like shut the fuck up because I'm LeBron. I don't know. It'd be funny. I want to be on that show. I want to be on that call.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that does it for the show. We'll have another show up sometime in the future. Yeah.